Anyway, I'm going to speak about marketing in the digital age. So I'm going to add a lot to what Vibhushan has already said. So first off, let me ask. I mean, this is the most familiar term for all of us, right? What is this? What is this? Emotions, emoticons, they call it reactions. But the question here is, for so many years, Facebook just had that like button, right? The thumbs up. But after like, say 8 years, why did they come up with all these different reactions? Do you know? Anyone? Data, A, to give users more freedom to express, right? You can now say if you love a certain content, or if you find it funny, if you're wowed by it, or if you're upset by a certain thing on Facebook, right? But moreover, Facebook cares about their customers. And we're not their customers. We're just one user out of 7 billion. I mean, how many billion people use on Facebook? I don't know, so many billion. But there was just like one user out of so many billion Facebook users. But they really care about their customers. And what are their customers? Advertisers. Advertisers like P&G and Red Bull who spend millions and millions of dollars on Facebook. And do you know why? Because Facebook stores up to 800 pieces of data on a particular user. Just like what Vibhushan said. 800 pages. Facebook knows more about me than I do myself, or my wife, right? And this is gold mine to marketers everywhere. Facebook knows where I've been. Facebook knows who my friends are. Facebook knows who I'm stalking. Facebook knows everything, right? So what does it matter? Because today, at this moment, we live in what we call a digital generation, where happiness is last thing to online and then to typing, where marriage invitation is sent over Facebook. When people ask, do you have a Facebook account? And you say, no. Twitter? No. Do you have WhatsApp? No. Then what do you have? A live? Oh, I need that for Candy Crush. That's how people react to this, right? So we basically live in a digital generation. And in a digital generation, for marketers, content is no longer one way. It has to be shareable, engaging content. No longer are those days when marketers can post signs like 25% discount and expect people to buy. No. It has to be shareable. It has to be engaging. So that people share and other people find out about it and it goes viral. Right? So we've evolved from an egg to a door. That's the generation we live today. So just to prove a point, is Pratna here? Pratna? Can you come over here? So just to prove a point how easy data is available on a particular individual, me and my wife did a little bit of stalking on this lady here called Pratna. So we're not friends, we're not even related. She approached me for this event and then I said, okay Pratna, here you go. I'm going to do a little bit of stalking on you, and it took me and my wife less than 10 minutes to get all this personal information on this particular prospect, or Pratna. Pratna, let me cross question, alright? You're 20 years old, right? A relationship or financial, I'm not going to say it out here, but he studied in St. David's School before that, and now you're studying KCM. You're also a co-founder at NMS Nepal, right? And one of your favorite sayings is the best way to predict the future is to create it. That says you've got that entrepreneurship vibe in you. You live in Kathmandu. You've got a brother named Vibhushan. He's 40 years old, goes to NKC Memorial School. Before that, he went to Little London School. Right? One of your favorite artists is Enrique Iglesias, Rey Rosal, Taylor Swift. Yeah? Okay, recently, wow. Recently you've been to Club 25 Hours, huh? I'm so sorry. KFC and all that, so that says you're very active. Your favorite food stays similar to saga, you can have Bulman and Harry Potter. Yeah? Movies like in Harry Potter, Pursuit of Happiness, and you're into animation movies, Lion King, Dora Tangle, Rio. Yeah? Okay. And you like bike racing. Okay, other interests like you like salsa, Photoshop, and creative work. Yeah? And then interests you like poetry, sports, football, you're doing entrepreneurship moves and reading books. One of your favorite authors, Dan Brown, right? Chetan Bhagat. And you like fashion shopping, you like going out. Well, anyway, there's like so many other things. Thank you so much, brother. There's like so many other things that I could pull out on Pratna, and this was done in less than 10 minutes, and I didn't even pay anybody to get this information on Pratna. It was publicly available. Now, imagine what Facebook does with 800 pieces of data like this. And where does it go? To the client. And we're not the client. It goes to customers that spend money on Facebook. Small companies like Substitute to bigger companies like Red Bull. And everyone pays for data like this. And not only to marketers, but even to, say, an HR. So today, I mean, like, resume is very irrelevant because whenever you send a resume, it tells very less about you as an individual. But if I look at this data, I can immediately say if product is fit to my company or not. But, like Vibhishan said, with all this data, a lot of companies doesn't have the slightest clue what to do with it. Like there are like millions of data we can gather right now, but we need to make use of it. That's the most important thing. So this morning, I mean last morning when Thursday. So when I was doing, when I was working on the presentation, I was looking at Substitute's Google Analytics side, and Vibhishan, I say like we're talking about real time, right? So at that time, at that morning, when I was checking on Google Analytics, there were like 30 people logged on to Substitute's website. So let me see. So 4 of them came through Facebook. 10 of them were looking at goodie sets for their mothers. 1 of them even landed in the checkout page. That's like catching for the company. And people were looking at cakes and chocolates and whatnot, right? And 54% of them browsed to their desktop devices and 40-something% from their mobile devices. There are like so many other kinds of data that I could look at each and every second of my company, right? But imagine if you could do that in an offline store. Can you? No. This data was available via Google Analytics, and it tells the company, me as a marketer, me as a CEO, it tells me what is working, what is not. Immediately I can say, although like a lot of people come to me and say, oh, Facebook is overcrowded with marketing and all that noises, but Facebook is working, right? You cannot assume a certain things when data is easily available. You have to look at real-time data, and it tells me everything. It tells me goodie sets are working. There are like 10 people looking at the goodie sets. So if marketing comes to me and says, the goodie sets is not working, then I'll say, no, look at this data. There are like 10 people browsing at it right now, and some of them will even back. Right? But it's really creepy. I mean, as a marketer, you have to be really, really, really careful how you're going to use your data. Because when it comes to personal things, it's sensitive, right? You have to understand people need space, and people today find it very creepy that companies are stalking on them. They know companies are stalking on them, but we still find it creepy. Like this example, when there's this supermarket called Target in the US, which obviously was collecting data on one of their customers who was pregnant at the time, right? And what they did was Target, to wow their customer, they sent out free pregnancy testing kit at her home. Here you go, here's an offer to you. Thank you for being such a loyal customer. But she was not at home. Who greeted the Target guy? Her father. And her father had no clue that his daughter was pregnant. Wow. How Target figured out the teen girl was pregnant before her father did. Look at that. That was exactly what Vibhishan was talking about. Target knew more about his daughter than his dad knew. Right? That's creepy. So as marketer, we have all this data, we have all this personal information. Me personally, I have all the personal information about Pratna, but how should I use it? I have to be very, very, very careful while using that data and information while targeting ads to my customer. Now, as Vibhishan was talking about, there are like 7 billion people. Out of 7 billion people, like almost half of the world population are active internet users. So that shows why we need to be on the digital mode. If you're a marketer, you cannot rely on newspapers and magazines anymore. you have to be in the internet. Who's the other side? Okay. And it has the potential to go viral, right? For a content, like for example, there was this debate on Facebook a long time back about whether dress was wearable. And that debate probably started from the US, and within 24 hours, they're like, all of us, even including natives and Indians, were talking about, oh, that dress is blue, or that dress is red, right? There are commercials, or there are like campaigns like the Ice Bucket Challenge that went viral within 48 hours. And that's the potential of marketing in the digital age. Otherwise, it would have taken years and years and even decades for a brand to reach to global audience. But now, you can do it in 48 hours and absolutely add to your marketing cost. All you need to do is make it engaging and share it. And the trend for digital marketing in 2016, 2017 is content is still going to be the king, but engagement is the queen. You have to engage your customer because there's so much of content out there. Like people have split-second attention span. Split second. There's a skim through your advertisement. So you have to make it engaging in whatever way is possible. SEO, which means search engine. So on Google PageRank, whatever you're publishing has to be in the first page because none of us even bother checking out the second page, right? And marketers will stalk you. Try to figure that out. We're going to stalk even more, and it's going to be all data-driven marketing. The rise of mobile marketing. So I think, like, I'll try to make if I'm not efficient, but I think 30% of Nepal's phone users are into smartphone these days, right? So that seems not even in Nepal, like worldwide, there's going to be a rise of mobile marketing, and video storytelling will rule the world. Because as internet speed goes faster, and as people get more lazier, people are all gonna watch video content rather than read the entire article. So if you're a marketer, you have to create videos. Even in Nepal, people have started sharing and watching more videos than ever, right? And also watch out for VR documents. This is very new, even new to us, but I think marketers are going to use the VR set and document set for marketing and personalizing the world, right? And another trend is you're going to shop only at accessible. One of my favorite marketing tools, so there, as a marketer, you're going to find 1,000 other tools, but one of my favorite tools is Google Alert. Anyone using here? Google Alert for Let's Alert? Nobody? Nobody uses Google. You do so? So what it does is, if you're into reading, and if you're into learning by reading, there are like millions of articles published every day, right? But you don't have the time to read all of them. So what Google does is, it gives you that tool where you can choose a certain topic, and it sends relevant articles to your email, to your inbox. For example, I've subscribed to e-commerce, of course, Amazon, marketing campaigns, Flipkart. So I don't have time to go through Flipkart's news all the time, right? But what Google does, it sends it to my inbox every day, like 3 articles every day. Like you can even personalize how you want them. And then I go through those articles and I'm entertained and I'm informed about the things that I want, that I love, right? Also, I use Gmail Tracker. Anybody use that? That's on the preview marketing tool, no? So a lot of times you get that answer, oh, I have not read any mail, right? But with Gmail Tracker, what it allows you to do is, it sends you live information when a particular individual has it on your email, so nobody can lie to you now. When people say, I have not read email, you'll be able to figure out what they have, and how much time did they take to read email. And there are so many other thousands of other marketing tools that marketers can actually utilize to themselves and on the marketing canvas and for the company. But at the end, no matter what's been said, the 4 P's of marketing is always going to work, and that is to use these. Thank you.